79 kilometers from Junagadh, near Veeraval in the Prabhas Kshetra. Right. Study of history reveals visited by people all over the country even in ancient times, absolutely. For its maintenance, revenue was collected from 10,000 villages, was invaded by different conquerors for its wealth, and some destroyed its structure. Fourth, an ideal example of ancient Indian architecture, temple architecture. Fifth, home to
12 Jyotirlingas.
one of the Jyotirlingas, most sacred linga in the Hindu pantheon. Many legends attached regarding its origin and existence, built originally by Somaraj in gold, rebuilt by Ravan in silver, by Lord Krishna in wood, and in 10th century by King Bhimdev Solanki. Absolutely. Now we move on to another activity. In this activity, I would be again reading out a passage. You have to listen to it carefully, but the difficulty level here is slightly higher. There are certain questions at the end of the reading of the passage, and you would have to answer these questions in one phrase or a sentence. So are you ready? Shall we start? If you want, you can keep taking down notes, noting down important points or important facts, dates, figures. That will help you answer the questions at the end of the reading. In an effort to produce the largest, fastest and the most luxurious ship afloat, the British built the SS Titanic. It was so superior to anything else on the sea that it was dubbed unsinkable. So sure of this were the owners that they provided only 20 lifeboats and rafts, less than one half the number needed for 2,227 passengers on board. Many passengers were aboard the night it rammed an iceberg. Only 2 days at sea and more than halfway between England and its New York destination. Because the luxury liner was traveling so fast, it was impossible to avoid the ghostly-looking iceberg. An unextinguished fire also contributed to the ship's submersion. Panic increased the number of casualties as people jumped into the icy water or fought to be among the few to board the lifeboats. 4 hours after the mishap, another ship, the Carpathia, rescued the 705 survivors. The infamous SS Titanic had enjoyed only 2 days of sailing glory on its maiden voyage in 1912 before plunging into 12,000 feet of water near the coast of Newfoundland, where it lies today. Now answer the questions in a phrase or a sentence. The first question is, give a suitable title to this passage. Give a suitable title to this passage. The second question, how many days was the SS Titanic at sea before sinking?
2 days.
Absolutely, 2 days, very true. Where did the ship sink? Where did the ship sink? It sank near Newfoundland. The ship sank near Newfoundland. What were the special qualities of SS Titanic? What were the special qualities of SS Titanic? It was the fastest
Luxurious.
and the most luxurious and the largest. There were three qualities. You can mention any two: the largest, the fastest, and the most luxurious. How many passengers were aboard and how many perished? How many passengers were aboard the ship? There were,
There were 20 lifeboats.
yeah,
Probably 20 or 40 people maybe aboard it.
no. The number was much, much large. There were 2,227 passengers aboard the ship.
Ma'am, but if there are only 20 lifeboats, then how can
Yeah, that was very much the fact. A lifeboat can probably accommodate not one but many people.
more than 10?
Yeah, and there were also rafts, and rafts can have many more people. But the whole point is that the lifeboats and rafts could accommodate only, it is said in the passage that only less than one half the number needed were on board. Lifeboats and rafts could accommodate only half the number of the passengers which were on board. And the actual number of passengers on board was 2,227, and I did mention that in the passage. Okay. And now how many perished? That might be a little tricky for you. Carpathia rescued 705 survivors. So you have to deduct 705 out of 2,227, which comes to 1,522 survivors. The next question, name any three factors that contributed to the large death toll. There were many factors, you can name any three. Three factors. One of them was fire, unextinguished fire, yes.
Hitting the ice.
Hitting the iceberg, absolutely, hitting the iceberg. And third, the luxury liner was traveling at a very high speed, so it's speed. And there's another factor, the panic amongst the passengers also created two high casualties. Okay. What was the name of the ship that rescued the survivors? Carpathia. These two ships have become very famous. Titanic survivors were rescued by the Carpathia. What suggests to you that the owners thought the ship unsinkable? The owners thought the ship unsinkable because it is suggested by the fact that they hadn't provided sufficient rafts and lifeboats because they never expected the ship to sink. The ship was built by which country was responsible for the building of the ship? Yes, the English people. It was the British who built the ship. And final, identify the object in the picture. It is definitely SS Titanic. Wonderful. That brings us to the end of the session. Thank you very much for being attentive and listening patiently. I would welcome any questions that you might have. Do you have any questions?
Ma'am, as you were saying in the barriers or somewhat, you said we should have the eye contact with the speaker.
Absolutely.
So, if normally we see in the class, the students may be physically present and he might be having the eye contact, with a serious eye contact with the teacher or the class lecturer or anything, but he might be not mentally present over there. So, is that a...
Wonderful question actually. It does happen at times. Sometimes the students in the classroom are able to look at the teacher, but they are not mentally present. That is, they are not listening attentively to what the teacher is saying. It comes with practice, but I would normally say that students and anybody by nature, inevitably, when they look at somebody, it becomes natural that they are involved in the process of interaction with the person who is speaking. Your eyes are said to be the windows of your thoughts. And if you are listening attentively, your eyes will reveal that you are listening attentively. And if you are absent, if you are not present mentally, that too your eyes would communicate. So this definitely is not a natural phenomena, but gradual practice helps you look into the eyes and be also attentive to what is being said. Any other question? So let us close this session and hope you have gained some insights and gradually move towards becoming an active listener. Thank you and have a good day.